U.S. men's national team have released their 27-man roster for the Gold Cup. A lot of names missing. Christian Pulisic, not in it. Yeah.
My man's taking a sabbatical.
He's in a hammock, bro. He's got his sunglasses on, flip-flops on.
Taking a break. Yeah. The one stat I had seen, I don't remember the exact number, but I think apparently if he plays 49 more minutes this season, it will be either the most amount of minutes he played in his career or something like that. They're basically saying like,
He's played a lot of football. A lot of miles on them legs.
Exactly. Got a lot of minutes logged. And we just kind of give him a break. It does kind of take away from this excitement of the Gold Cup because we're realistically not going to be seeing the best USMNT roster of available players. The Club World Cup also takes away some of the players involved.
But also being the last real competition before the World Cup, you'd want your A squad to get more minutes together. And the fact that that's not happening is a little bit upsetting, especially Christian Pulisic. You're a leader. You're a captain. You know what I mean? So I kind of want you there.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get both perspectives.
Sure.
It's hard to be that harsh or critical about it because you also want him to be healthy at the World Cup.
You want him to be healthy.
Yeah.
And he's having the best run of form in his club career. You want that to continue. Maybe either get a move to a team that's in Champions League or at least be even more of a leader at AC Milan. So I get it. But
he's the leading scorer at AC Milan.
Bro, can he be the leading scorer during the Gold Cup, though?
Yeah. It's a bummer. My hope is that these games give players that haven't had many opportunities with the national team to get real experience and get like the biggest issue about the 2026 World Cup is that we don't have meaningful games to play in to qualify for that World Cup because we automatically qualify. So now it's like getting that energy and excitement, and the players probably have to do that in the limited amount of time that they get with the national team, but they really have to find a way, whatever, team building exercise, do improv together, or whatever it takes.
We'll take them to the Rucker. Bro, we need to build chemistry, camaraderie. We need to build all of that. And also, to your point, you got to find the fringe players that can either sneak into a more meaningful position or those players that can sneak into the fringe. You know what I mean? That can get themselves in that squad that can add depth.
Right. So look, I'm hoping it all works out for Pulisic. We don't know if he ends up moving to a different club because that's also a real possibility. But that's an option this summer. So I'm sure he has a lot going on.
Hopefully.
Let's talk about a couple other things regarding the USMNT. Some snubs, because there's been names that are not there of players that are available.
Yeah.
And were not called up. So,
we think should have been there. Why don't you go first?
Yeah,
we both went with midfielders.
My biggest snub is Yunus Musa.
Okay.
Christian Pulisic's teammate. Admittedly, he has not had a great season at AC Milan this time around. But still, there's with no Weston McKennie, no Gio Reyna. Weston's in the Club World Cup also. Is Juve in the Club World Cup or no?
They are in the Club World Cup.
Okay,
yes.
So you would imagine that Yunus Musa would provide a little bit of that experience from the previous camps and the previous squad. So it's kind of a surprise because he is. Yes, admittedly not had the greatest season, but still an important figure for the national team. So this is now an opportunity for a newer somebody else to really kind of like step up.
To your point, also, Yunus Musa is fairly versatile. He could play the 6, he could play the 8. He's been used as a right winger,
right back.
Yeah, right back as well. I mean, he can kind of play anywhere you want. I would love to see him play a little bit more central. So I thought, what a good opportunity with other players missing for him to shine. Yeah. For him to not even be called up is kind of crazy. I'm going to pick someone else who I thought has proven himself already. He's proven to be versatile. He's proven to be essential. Tanner Tessman. I mean, the last camp, there was an injury. He gets called in as a late ad, and he played extremely well. I think anytime he's given the ball, he shows he's that guy that can be that stable force in front of the back line. Yeah. He can provide a line-breaking pass if needed. He's not going to venture forward. He's going to sit back. He's going to do his thing. He could be a bit more of a metronome, help control the game, help take the sting out of a game. To me, Tanner Tessman has done enough. He got the big move to Lyon. He didn't play as much in Champions League, but he still got that move. He still played
Europa.
He
played in Europa.
I'm sorry, in Europa. He didn't get a ton of minutes, and I went to one of the games and he was left off the roster. But it was still cool to go to a Rangers game and watch him play Lyon. And to me, in Ligue 1, he proved that he's of that quality. And to me, there's no reason why he shouldn't be on this roster.
I wouldn't argue that. I would only the one thing I don't totally agree on or don't see the same way is the line breaking pass. I think Tanner Sussman is very good at controlling a game, passing from side to side.
Side to side. Yeah, it's not part of his. It's not the first thing you think of.
Yeah.
But he has that ability,
without a doubt. All right. So, how about surprises? What's your surprise player that made the team?
It's gonna sound like I'm being rude here, and I don't want to, but Tim Ream. What are you doing on this roster, bro? You're too old for this shit, dog. And also, you made the move back to MLS, and I'm not necessarily saying that disqualifies you, but you're 37. You're a center back that's already kind of past his prime. If not, let's just admit it, past his prime. Mm-hmm. He was too slow for Fulham. Now you're playing left back. You haven't had a good season with Charlotte. It hasn't looked great. I get that you're a veteran presence, and I get you're a leader, and I get that you're very smart in that back line. But you're going to be that point of weakness if you are the starter in the World Cup, even in this Gold Cup. You're going to be that weak point that people are going to attack on that back line. Yeah. And now we have to put players around you to cover for the fact of your lack of mobility, your lack of speed, your lack of recovery. Can we move on? There are other players that deserve that spot. Maybe not as much as Tim Ream based on the history, but at this point, you've got to make that decision. I do not think Tim Ream belongs to be a starter in the World Cup. Can he be on the bench? Sure. But the fact that this guy's still here is kind of crazy to me.
That's fair. I would argue that he's playing left back at Charlotte, which is
what are you
I don't know why.
Who made that decision?
He is a better center back than he is a left back, so I don't understand why this is something that Dean Smith continues to do. So because of his club form, this is why I think he should be left off. But I don't think the national team is ready to completely get rid of Tim Ream because of the veteran presence and experience that he offers.
I think we got enough veterans.
But I understand your perspective. My biggest surprise, given the recency of it, is Alexander Freeman, right back for Orlando City.
Antonio Freeman's kid.
And just the game, really the highlight was his game against Inter Miami just a couple of days ago, and he just dominated, and everybody was like, look, and actively, like, while we're all watching Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram, everybody's like, yo, Alex Freeman needs to get an opportunity. He should get a call up. Yeah. And then like 3 days later, Pochettino was like, yo, I'm seeing all these tweets about this kid. I think we might need
I didn't watch the game, but I did see the reactions.
Okay, the reviews are positive.
Well, you think Messi called them? They're homies. You think Messi was like, oh yeah.
Yo.
Oh yeah, gang ahead there.
Okay, he should be playing safety.
Bro, for real, bro. Cover two over
for
here.
For the Buccaneers.
Seriously, bro.
But no, Alex Freeman, if he gets any minutes, I'd be surprised. I mean, but it's a big. I don't know if it's necessarily a risk, but this is something where like a new player, and it's for the Gold Cup roster, not just like an international
this
window.
Isn't a January camp. Yeah, I get you. I'm not surprised only because there's very few opportunities for soccer in the U.S. where athletic freak of nature and the skills to back it up. Usually it's one of the two, one or the other. Like people used to say Mo Adu, like Rangers fans used to say Mo Adu is not a footballer. He's an athlete that has trained to be a footballer. This kid is both. Yeah. I mean, he's one of those things where I'm like, I kind of like this guy. And I think I'm not as surprised because I'm like, he's ushered himself into the conversation.
And it's the thing I love about just like national team kind of call-ups, because you could have one good game. You could have, it's what are you doing right now?
Bro.
If you good now, we'll give you an opportunity.
I mean this with all love and respect. Dax McCarty was on the national team. You know what I mean? I don't know. Other people should get a chance. Is what I'm saying.
Shout out to that Gold Cup winner, bro. My man raised a couple trophies.
I'm only messing around. Let's talk about some. We talked about some surprises. We talked about some snubs. Who do you think got the most approved?
For me, most approved right now would have to be Brendan Aronson, given his, relegated from the Premier League, loaned to a different club, and now he's back with Leeds.
He's looked good in his club form,
and he's looked great.
So why has he got Why has he got something to prove?
Because he doesn't do it with the national team.
Nah, he looked bad, bro.
He's incredibly ineffective with the national team, and it just hasn't really worked out. So it's one of those things where I think he's built his confidence to a level where what I want from the national team is 11 players that are like, yo, give me the ball. I want the ball. I can do something and I can affect this game. And in previous years with the national team, I haven't seen Brendan Aronson be like that.
He's more like, who passed me this ball? Why would you do that? Yeah.
You know, he is creative and he can do a lot.
And he's an engine. He's an engine, which sometimes at the end of a game is great to have.
So I think
but I agree with you. He's got to show me something. Show me you belong on this team.
Correct. What about for you? Who has the most approved?
I hate saying this because there was a lot of fanfare around him joining this team, and I'm one of those. But Flair and Balogun, man, bro, you were ushered into the number 1 in the 9 position, top of the list for the 9s in the U.S. And I don't know that you've proven it. The best he's looked was under BJ Callahan in the Nations League when Greg Berhalter was sort of in contract negotiations in flux as to whether he would remain. That's the best he's looked. And obviously, you can say that for a couple players with the national team, by the way. But I think that's the best he's looked, and that's the most connected to your Westons, your Christian Pulisic, and everyone else that it felt like he was part of the team. He was understood how to connect with those guys, and the chemistry was great. Those guys aren't there now, and you're going to be given an opportunity. Prove to me that it shouldn't be Pepe. That's number 1. Prove to me that it shouldn't be Agyemang. That's number 1. Prove to me that it shouldn't be Brendan Vazquez getting another opportunity. Prove to me that you really are the top of the list of that 9, that you can make the 9 position solely your own. Sure. To me, you have to prove that in this competition.
Fair. He's coming back from a shoulder separation injury. So I'm just glad his shoulder's back together. That's all.
What about you? Let's move on.
Player to watch. So for me, another returning player from injury, Serginho Dest. I mean, we all saw what he's capable of, and he tore his ACL over a year ago. And that's it. I mean, we know what he's capable of. I just hope to see that he's the same guy.
Yeah, and I think again, this is going back to the way Berhalter plays. Maybe not exactly the way Pochettino plays, but the team's better when Serginho Dest is there. It's more dynamic. It's more open. He unlocks a lot of doors for the national team. So hopefully he is healthy. For me, I'm going to go with Diego Luna. This was a player that I think anyone, even if you're not an MLS fan, you were like, why hasn't this guy gotten more of a chance? Breaks his nose with the national team. You know what I mean?
He denied a call up to the Olympics.
Yep. And there's been times where he should have been on the team and he didn't get a chance. There's been times where it didn't work out. But what we've seen from him from that moment on is he has taken up another level with his club form.
He looks
to
great.
me, he feels like he's ready to move on to a bigger competition level or a higher level than MLS. And I think now is the right time. He's in the right place. It doesn't feel like it's a gimme. It doesn't feel like it's a make-a-wish. It doesn't feel like, oh, we're taking a chance. It feels like this is the right time for him to be a part of the national team. And without some of those bigger stars there, I think he can prove to be that guy.
Yeah, he looks like fantastic for us. So
good. And a leader.
Yeah. So, to wrap this up, our expectations for the Gold Cup. What do we think?
If you had to predict, what do you think the U.S. men's national team well, at the end of the day, they will be what?
Given Nations League and how that went, I'm gonna just be realistic and pragmatic, and literally my expectation and what I think would be a decent Gold Cup showing is getting to the semifinal.
Okay,
that's it.
Christian hates America. That's crazy.
Okay, it's just. If they would surprise me if they can get to the final.
You can't say that without telling me who you think would win it all. Who stands the best chance to win it all then?
Mexico or Canada?
I think Mexico.
Yeah, I think they're in better form than we are. And then now with the players,
I can see Canada putting in a shift
with the players that we're going to be missing. Obviously, the other nations are going to be missing some players as well for Club World Cup or whatever. But Canada, if Alphonso Davies was there, I would say Canada first. But I think Mexico or Canada will probably be the final.
That's crazy. I'm gonna say, and I think I don't have the facts to prove to back up anything I'm about to say, other than
have you ever had facts?
That's actually a great point. Why need it? It's the Cooligans. There's other places for you to go if you want facts. I'm gonna say that the U.S. men's national team will be the winners, and I don't know that I'm that confident in that. But what I will say is, you have to go into this competition thinking that has to be your expectation. Anything other than winning Gold Cup is an abject failure for this team. It just is. And it's an abject failure for Mauricio Pochettino. And I think Mauricio Pochettino is going to have a lot of questions to answer if we don't win this competition. And I totally agree with you that our A squad is not walking in there. Most other countries aren't bringing their A squads either. This is a chance to prove that heading into the World Cup, you are the top dog in CONCACAF. You are the top dog in this region, and you're the top dog out of the 3 countries hosting the World Cup. If you don't do that, there's not, bro, them ticket sales are going to be rough for the World Cup.
Okay. I mean, I have a feeling they'll be fine. People are going to
go. For the national team, for the men's national
People
team.
are going to go regardless. Anyway.